Hi, my name's Bryce. Welcome back to VHS Play, where we are playing Wild Arms 3 and recording it all on VHS. Last time, we fought the Guardians. All of them. So, this time, I don't remember what I need to do next. So, that should be fun. So, let's get that figured out. Did we check in with Granny after the things? I think we did. Right? Maybe? An altar covered in elaborate runes stands firmly in the middle of the room. Try and turn our buttons. Here we go. Same deal. Alright, did we check in with you? The powers of the four great guardians were released and trusted to drifters. I have fulfilled my promise. Now each one of you may take to the air, master of your own medium. I may be wrong, but I feel that such is the true meaning of the guardians' powers. Now let us believe in a future in which the destinies of man and the guardians unite in harmony. Right, so I forgot that we got these things, and we also have these personal skills, and people have different amounts of skill points. And yeah. Okay, so, oh geez. Can I? Wait, what? Okay, so it looks like I can equip things onto the mediums that I have. That is wacky. This game, it just keeps giving. Alright, so, I had originally intended to just give... Release is a very awkward word for that. Anyhow, I had originally intended to give Gallows all the good stuff, because he's real good at magic. Oh hey, I didn't realize that this stuff just straight up gives him some stats too. Dang. Aw, his luck is even normal right now. Alright, cool. So, what gave what? Terror Roar had all of that defensive stuff that was really useful, and I'd really like to keep on him. Aqua Wisp is the one that had Cure, and again, I'd really like to keep that on him. Gale Claw had the evasion increase, I think. And then Fiery Rage had Revive. Virginia has some heals. Clive doesn't do anything except for shoot real good, and not very often. Jet shoots pretty good, and basically throwing the revive on him was he's fast. And Gallows, he's got all the good stuff, but that basically does leave me with not being able to give people personal skills if I give everything to Gallows. Good news is there's a reset button here. That's great. That means I don't have to worry about things. So I can just spend points willy-nilly. Let's see what they suggest. Oh, hey, cool. Well. Right. Okay. So, this lets me see what each of these guys has. Okay, that critical hit. Words. Critical hit. Those are some words. That's really tempting to throw at Clive instead of Jet. Granted, the question is that critical hit as in, like, improved chance for critical hit, or is it improved damage from critical hit? Welcome to the systematic stuff that I love about these games. It's probably extremely boring for me to watch, or for me to watch. I guess I have to edit this, but yeah. I'm sorry if you find this not interesting to watch, but this is the stuff that, oh boy, I love it. I love this systematic stuff. It's the goo. I don't know. That's a phrase that doesn't make any sense to anybody outside of, like, my very specific circle. There's the phrase, hello, laptop fan, what are you doing? Anyway, so basically in college, many of us had a very influential teacher who basically one of his first lessons was you're going to learn stuff by getting into it. Get your hands in the goo. And yeah, that's basically the phrase I'm referring to, and that doesn't make any sense to anybody outside of things. So welcome to my world where I say weird things like this is the goo. So yeah, cool. Anyway, menus. Let's look at some menus, because that I'm sure is exciting to watch, because we haven't been sitting on the same screen for, you know, like a while. Okay, so cool. We're just going to... That was... Counterattack is on Gale Force. I really wish I knew what any of these things actually did. Okay, so the thing is... Poor Virginia just really does not have a lot of health. Okay, Gallows needs to keep Aqua Wisp. Nope. Menus are hard. Okay, so we're going to give her Terra Roar, because that... I really want to leave that on Gallows, but hopefully... I'm wondering if we'll get more of these, because there's an awful lot of slots here. But at the same time, like, it makes sense to only have these 4 and just have them shuffled between everybody. That does not improve his reflexes as much as I'd hoped. That'll do. Okay, so... Personal skills. We've got 6 points. We're going to put... two into Defender. I don't know what Defender does. And 1 each into these. Cool. Clive, guess what? I want you to learn how to counterattack. And we'll just bump up both of those halfway. Nope, cannot R1, L1 out of this. Alright, dude. You don't have enough points. How dare you? You jerk. Wait, why did I give Clive counterattack? That is not bright on my part. Guess what? We're switching this around. Clive, you get Fiery Rage. So now the fast kid can be really fast. These menus are a pain. Just having to back out of things. Okay, cool. Crank that critical hit for Clive. Did you know alliteration is great? Let's get that counterattack. And sure, let's ward against some wind and more thunder. What is attack blocker, I wonder? Oh jeez, there's... reset button is not just all reset. Alright, cool, that works. Okay, menuing over. Let's go find the dang game. And yes, I'm going to save, because I don't want to have to go through that menu again, and I don't want to make you sit through it. So, hooray. Anyway, yes, this systematic stuff is what I really love about RPGs, like that, those skill point choices, all those little things, like that's the stuff that really makes me tick. Like, I loved Final Fantasy Tactics and its job system and like all of the combinations that you can create with that. And then there's of course something that I'm not sure if I've talked about all that much, but Etrian Odyssey is one of my favorite game series. I'm sure I've mentioned it at some point. Anyhow, it's one that's really some systematic gooey stuff. Just that nice crunchy system. Anyhow, also if you're into real brief, JRPG recommendation, if you're into that crunchy systematic stuff and like seeing how different characters play off of each other, I highly recommend it's JRPG name Seventh Dragon in Count 3. I think that's the full title. It was like the first one of this series that was released in the US, I think. It's on 3DS, so, I don't know how widespread 3DS is at this point. Yeah, we already talked to that stuff. Yeah, cool. Anyway, yeah, it's really systematically just good. Hey man, I really would like your map. Can I have your map for less than 5,000 money? That'd be great. I think we might... Wait, let's try that again. I think we'd make a mighty fine team. I hope we can stick together for another adventure. Well, let's stick together for another adventure, I guess. Guardians... Dog. I hope I can be of service. Ask me anything, I'll try to answer the best I can. Okay. That's super cool! Oh my god! Okay, being able to rename spell stuff. That's rad. That is super rad. Okay, so, I was just talking about how I love Etrian Odyssey and crunchy games. One that is similar, it's one of the inspirations behind Etrian Odyssey, I do believe. But it's also super crunchy, and is kind of awful, is Wizardry. So, Wizardry uses spell names like... I cannot remember them off the top of my head because they're terrible. They're so, they are high fantasy spell names, and there's some semblance of sensible naming conventions, but it's it doesn't make any sense in, English. The names are magical nonsense. There, talk to you. Anyway, yeah, the names are complete magic, non-words. And I think there's one that's Helito and then Mahilito or something like that is the greater version of that spell, and I think Helito is the fire spell. This is not at all correct, by the way. It's just random syllables I'm smashing together because that's what that game does. On one hand, I appreciate the bit. On the other, boy howdy, it sure is. I don't think I've talked to this guy. It sure is just a pain. It makes it to where you cannot play that game without having the manual or, a digital copy of the manual available to look up what the spells do. Either that or you're just going to experiment and probably not figure out what half of them do because it's really unclear. Anyway, being able to rename spells, real dang cool. Herald. The dunes are... Okay, so it's the dunes are swell. The dunes are swell of... Okay, let me try to get that S in there. The dunes are swells of sluggish death that corrupt the continents and cover the planet with sand. It is said that beneath them lurk evil gargantuans that prey upon vessels that sail the sands. None dare brave the dangers of the dunes. None but drifters. Don't want to go down that road. Okay, so... let's get the guy who knows some things and maybe talk to Shane. Hey, Shane. You're heading out already? Well, be sure to eat your vegetables at least 3 times a day, even when I'm not around. And when you check into your room, make sure you don't throw your clothes all over the place, okay? And don't forget to pack the things you use often last, so you can pull them out of your bags quickly. Oh, and take care out there, you hear? Just ask me if you ever wish to change the names of your arcana. I can do it for you through a little ceremony that's unique here in Baskar. Rad. Now can we leave? No. Okay, this town is not that big. They say mortals can speak with the Guardians through the Arc Scepter. I wonder what the Guardians would say. They have such an ocean of consciousness. I think we'd just drown. The Guardians that we sense beyond our prayers are but a small part of greater consciousness. It's like trying to figure out what animal you've got while only being able to pet its tail. But the bearer of the Arc Scepter can discern a Guardian's every contour. You may think I say heavy things, but you must lift burdens in order to gain strength. Alright, so... maybe Granny will have more to say now that I've done personal skills. There's another side to everything. Right now, you're about to leave this village and wander outside for the first time. But to part from our community is to go to places its umbrella does not cover. No matter how dire your circumstances become, we will not be able to aid you. Please, take care on your journey. Yep, same text. Alright, well, I guess we will have ourselves a nap because... Alright, this is a joke. I have been recording for like 15 minutes and we're still just in this village. Don't mind me, I'm just missing, you know, something vitally important in this very, very small space. That camera. Coming out of there with the camera facing that way is just, hoo boy. Alright, yeah, cool. Can we leave yet? I gotta get out of here before Granny lectures my ears off. Where are we headed to next? I really don't know. I'm trying to figure that out. Do you know why you feel confined here in this village? This is the most peaceful village anywhere. Your medium is a materialization of the powers of Shtordark, the Water Guardian. Befitting its watery nature, the medium takes on whatever form its user wishes. We Baskars take great pride in the fact that we're blessed with the Guardian's powers. We know not why you turn your back on their glory, spurring nothing but insults upon Baskar tradition. That is an old line. Okay, seriously, where I supposed to go? Who am I supposed to talk to and as who? Urgh. Alright, let's try talking to Granny, but not as Virginia. Okay. I talked to you, right? Yes. Tell me you at least know how to materialize as many guardians as your maximum MTC will allow. Dogged perseverance is necessary to increase your MTC. By perseverance, I refer to the slaying of enemies through the power of guardians. Though the path is straight and it is long, MTC rises with each enemy you dispatch, but the increase is not consistent. The first increase happens after victory over 10 enemies, but the next is 20 and then 40. Each time it becomes more difficult. If an enemy is not a threat to you, there is little to learn from it, and it will not increase your MTC either. Constant training is necessary to improve oneself. That guy's voice changed pretty drastically between reads. I know saying this won't do any good, but come back safe, okay? This town's gonna be too quiet without you and your granny fighting all the time. Okay, everybody keeps wishing me well and telling me, hey, good luck out there. Don't be a stranger. Okay, this is such a small area. What am I supposed to do? Oh no. Yes, there's an altar that stands in the middle of the room. We've got 4 dudes. Each has this sucks. Like, not the game. I mean, in a way, this kind of sucks, and is... I don't know. Is it the game's fault? Because I just haven't played this for a week, so I can't remember exactly what was supposed to happen next. But also, like, we just got all of our things. So, what am I supposed to do now? Is it this guy? Do I need to talk to this guy? No, he used to be an adventurer like you. Shoot, it was that guy. Okay, cool. You remember how I had mentioned that good thing we saved? Can I? Yep. Cool. So we're going to go back here and save so I can figure out what that guy said because I'm sure it's important. Okay. So yeah, it's going to do that even if I load from within the game. I love that anime opening still. It gets me real pumped and excited to play this game. But... okay. I really want that world screen. That... do I have any junk? I don't know what this ice gem is. I don't know what this water gem is. That gets me up to 4,000 if I were to sell all of those. I would still be 1,000 short. And I don't have any way of getting there. So, yeah. Okay. Well, since my foot injury, I've had to stay put here, but I think it's better now. I'm gonna get my show back on the road. I'll be heading to the next village soon. That village should be Jolly Roger. It lies beyond the village, on the shore to the southwest. Shore to the southwest. Great. It being a port town, it's a place where travelers from all over the world cross paths. I hope our paths cross again, too. Remember, I'm always open for business. Hey, guess what? It's a dog. Also, I saved before sleeping, so let's go have a nap. Cool. Well, that took not quite half an hour. Well, what do we now? Does anyone have any pressing matters they would like to take care of? Well, let's try that again. We were all out having fun releasing the Guardians. No one has any errands to run. And now we don't know. And now that we're all done, why don't we just do our own thing? Do our own thing? I suggest we head down to the bustling port town of Jolly Roger. I'm sure we can obtain some leads about further missions and means of transportation. That's not a bad idea. We'll find our own path from there. Well, we've only known each other for a short while, but we were able to complete all our missions. Let's have our goodbye party there. A goodbye party? Whose? Ours? Oh yeah, it's not like we were a team or anything. It's decided then. Let us head to Jolly Roger. Woohoo! I still really appreciate this map speed. It is blazing it. Just zoom. That is also, once again, not the encounter skip button. I'm going to do that every week, aren't I? Sure wish I had been able to afford that encounter or that map screen. World screen, that's the item name. Hey, Gobs. Yeah, I'm kind of mad about wandering around town talking to everybody except for the shopkeep because I forgot about him. My bad, I guess, but also, heck. So very heck. Alright, which way to do that's north? So when they said coast, did they actually mean, like, edge of the desert? Haha. That's, again, this game just has a bunch of like little neat effects. That's a cool preemptive attack. I think one of my favorites is again from Etrian Odyssey. They do some clever stuff with their music and some visual effects where you like when you go into a battle, there's like a little green leaf effect if you get a preemptive attack, and also the music track starts at a certain point. So what they do that's really smart regarding the music, they that was southwest. Is there another southwest I should be going? Hey, here's a bridge. Anyway, what they do with the music, they have like an intro to the battle music track that usually doesn't get played, or rather, it has 3 sections. The smallest part of the section. Hey, it's a thing. Nice. I can almost afford that map now. That's rad. So anyway, yeah, music has intro. Intro has 3 sections. First section, it's hard to describe because the final section of the intro, so furthest into the track, is the usual intro. So they start usually about like 2/3 of the way through. That's your standard intro into battle. When you get a preemptive attack, cool. When you get a preemptive attack in Etrian Odyssey, they start the track about 1/3 of the way into the intro music for battle. So it has an extra chunk of intro before going into the standard intro and then going into the looping battle track. And then when you get ambushed, there's that critical hit effect. I don't know if I've just not heard the music that far into battle or what, but that was rad sounding. Anyway, basically when you get ambushed, you get the entire intro track, so you get like this kind of usually like a wild guitar, like a warning noise guitar, that then goes into the preemptive battle intro, so it's like not immediately going into the... As we go further, there are more and more of these slugs. You get the non-standard battle intro so that it's still off-putting, and then you go into the standard battle intro and then back into the looping portion. I don't know, it's really clever and it really works. Especially, like, the music in those games is really solid. So, basically, the very start of that intro track with its, like, kind of wild warning guitar, just like, it's off-putting, and then you go into this non-standard track that if you start the track at that point in the intro, then it sounds heroic. Like a very specific heroic stinger for the you got a preemptive. Where am I? You got a preemptive attack. Hold on, I've not been paying enough attention to this game that I'm actually playing and talking about this other game that I've been playing a lot of. Can I just go down here? Anyway, ooh, hey, you're new. Spartoy? Seems... no? Okay, well they hit hard enough, I guess. And they don't seem to care much about being shot. Actually focusing on this whole fighting thing. Alright, let's actually heal Virginia. This game has really cool visual effects. Back to ranting about Etrian Odyssey while this plays out. That intro music track, warning, it's like warning music, followed by heroic music, followed by standard intro. And I guess that's all I really needed to say about it. Nope, cannot just drop down there. So there's a tunnel that leads from somewhere? Alright. Anyway, Etrian Odyssey. It's real good. I like it a lot. It's easily one of my favorite game series, and I'm really bummed about it. It's one of those that you would require specialized hardware in order to record off of 3DS, so I couldn't ever do it. Hooray, critical hit! I couldn't ever do it for VHS Play, and probably not in any capacity for YouTube, unless I, wanted to spend, I think, last time I heard anybody talk about it, it was like a $500 thing of getting a 3DS retrofitted with some sort of output. That, and I don't know. Would that be interesting to watch, to do a dungeon crawl with a lot of mapping? Somebody had mentioned Wizardry as a possible game for VHS Play, and I don't know. Hey, is that the town I've been looking for? It is. Anyway, like, Wizardry, so much of the game is in that specific type of dungeon crawler. And generally when I say dungeon crawler, that's what I mean. It's like the first person, grid-based exploration heavy dungeon crawler where you draw your own map and it's all about the, like, dungeon diving, just slowly inching forward. It's definitely like a very specific type of game, and it's one that I'm super into, and it's really niche as far as I know. There's a history behind that. Anyway, yeah. Like, for Wizardry, I really don't think that would be at all interesting to watch, because most of the time it would be me jotting down a map and notes, or otherwise, off screen. And like that, I don't think there's any way I can make that work as a series. So no interest on my part in even trying. But yeah, like, anyway, let's play this game that we're actually playing and stop talking about other games. We made it to Jolly Roger. When they said coast, they did in fact mean some amount of... Okay, and it's waiting for me. I got really worried for a moment that it was going to just start taking the text forward again. Yeah, so apparently coast does include desert. Well, what now? We obviously need to get to some leads in order to continue. In addition, we need grub and ale. It's so amazing how well we get along after just meeting each other. So let's liven up our farewell party with some food. I can't stand morose gatherings. You mean around... Let's try that again. You mean ask around over drinks at the saloon? Makes sense. Let's say goodbye and discuss our individual agendas at the saloon. Okay, so it, like, the music just clicked with me. And dang, just dang, the music in this game is really good. Like, people have been telling me about how good the soundtrack is for years, and just, has it been years? Yeah, it's been years. And yeah, Herman. Each crashing wave of sand bites off a little more land from the continent. This town's time will come too. When did the world get this way? I'm not talking about legends and stories. I want to know the truth. Dennis is so happy. Ask Volks for directions if you ever lose your way in life. He always spews out authentic sounding advice on cue, even though he barely knows much about anything. Hey, crossing Roikman, don't worry, Roikman & Co. is always just around the bend. This place was a prosperous harbor back in the day, so when it comes to equipment for ships and other devices, they're way ahead of other villages. Why, speaking of the arms you go carry, you can have them upgraded at any armsmith. But it can cost an arm and a leg, so you should really think it over before plunking down some cash. And you won't need to upgrade lots of... let's try that again. And you won't need to upgrade lots of parts all at once either. Just try picking a party member and upgrade one of his arm's parts. That's all you really need. So close. Alright. I don't know what these are. I really just kind of want to sell them. We really did not get that much Gela? I don't know, monies. Crossing the wasteland. Good, screw it. We are going to make a choice. We're going to stick with it. I want my world screen, dang it. Cats. They're great. Hey, it's Volks. The badge of a drifter is never given. You must find it for yourself. It can even be found just about anywhere, even in this old port. If you ever get stuck, just blaze yourself a new trail. I know you'll find a path out of the darkness. Do. Excuse me, bird. You're kind of in the way. Okay, so as much as I hate to leave it here, I really need to call it a night. Like, I've gotten to recording really quite late, and that is a poor choice on my part. So, beep, howdy, save your game. Yes, we will save the game. And yeah, that's that. We're gonna have to call it there because it's much too late. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, not much actually got accomplished this episode, and I spent the entire time talking about other games. Hey, Etrian Odyssey's real cool. 7th Dragon in Count 3 is really systematically impressive. Wizardry is a pain, and it's a type of game that I, and possibly only I, love. I know a few other people that are really into it, but, or at least into the idea and similar games, but yeah, for me specifically, like, just, there's a seed planted way down in my childhood that makes me love these games, and yeah, it's one part nostalgia, one part systematic crunchy and gooiness, and there's just me being a sucker. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. I've been Bryce. This has been VHS Play. Have yourself a lovely evening.